Now, for those who have, I don't know where they've been if they've missed any of the promotion for this, but just explain what the sort of premise of the show is.
Yeah, good point. So the premise of the show is that I am dating 19 girls at once, and it's a process.
You fit?
Yeah, it keeps me on my toes, yep. And through a process of elimination, through a rose ceremony every couple of days, it eventually ends up with one girl.
Over what sort of length of time?
13 weeks the show was filmed for.
Any regrets for sticking your hand up for this?
Not so far. No. It was. I mean, I was really unsure before I took that ultimate dive. When I applied for it, I didn't really think I'd get it. And then when I did, I sort of had to take a big deep breath and go, well, okay, you've come this far. If you don't do it now, you'll probably regret it for the rest of your life. So I jumped in, and I definitely don't regret it. It's the best thing I've ever done.
Sam is happy to take calls. Sam Wood from The Bachelor, 96900 693 if you have a question for him or you just want to say hello, 96900 693 or 13 13 32. When your mates watch the series, what happens?
Yes, they've been having a field day, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't able to tell them when it was first, when I first got the gig. I was sworn to secrecy and had to tell them I was away in America on business. So when they found out through reading a magazine, they were like, is this true? What's going on here? This can't be right. He couldn't have kept this from us. So safe to say it's all exploded. My mates were watching me rather than the Ashes, which is a bit of a turnaround.
Well, it was probably best not to be
well,
watching
yeah,
the Ashes.
exactly. Yeah, it might have been a disaster on both channels.
96900 693 if you'd like to speak to Sam Wood, The Bachelor. Did you watch the previous series and you're thinking while you're watching A?
No, I'd never seen the show before. So last night was the first episode of The Bachelor I'd ever seen, and that's not to be self-indulgent. That's obviously I need to see what's going on. But what I did notice last night is it's just two shows in one. I hadn't seen so much of the drama that unfolded last night just between the girls. I'm not privy to what's going on when they're with each other, and I'm off with another girl at that time. So it was a real eye-opener for me last night.
So you're not given bits of updates? You're not given updates on sort of what's going on?
No, they want you to navigate your own way through and sort of work it out for yourself, so they don't tell you anything that's going on.
So you don't get a heads up on anything?
No. So you hope you make the right decisions and your gut instinct
so
serves you well.
What were the emotions watching it last night and seeing what's going on with the rest of them?
At first, it was just so strange to see myself there. I was watching it with friends, so watching myself on telly was a very surreal experience. And then it sort of once you sort of go, all right, well, you better get used to that. It was more just how much has happened that I had no idea had happened.
It's sort of hindsight, but it's no use to you.
Exactly. It's all a bit too late.
John, good afternoon.
I just want to know if the show is scripted. And secondly, don't you think it is demeaning to you and to the women?
No, it's John. Hello, John. It's not scripted, mate. It's I even have a say in what dates we go on with the girls. I sit down with what's affectionately known as the date team, and we sort of work out what is logistically possible around the beautiful parts of Sydney. To answer the second part of your question, what exactly do you feel is demeaning about it, mate?
Accepting cash to perform on a show.
Ah, okay. Look, you get paid very, very little, mate. You don't do it for the money. I would have made a lot more money staying in my job in Melbourne, I promise you that. It was, for me, I genuinely promise you, I did it to hopefully find a girl. And I understand it's a very, very unorthodox way to do that, but at 34 years old and being single, I thought, why not? And that's why I took it.
Are you hoping to be a dad one day?
Absolutely. I'm 35 now, and I can't believe I'm not a dad already, to be honest. So, working with children every day has just been a constant reminder of the fact that I love kids and do want to be a dad.
Vicky, good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon, Dennis and Sam. Sam, I've got two questions, if that's possible.
Of course, Vicky.
Okay, first question. Had you watched the last season of The Bachelor and followed that whole scandal post-season finale? And did that have any impact on your decision to enter the show?
I hadn't watched the show, but obviously I had heard what had happened with the controversy of last year. It did have a bit of a bearing. I mean, I really want people to see me for me, I guess, and not sort of, compare me with what's happened in previous series. And I definitely didn't want the drama and the controversy and to go down that path, but it really does make you aware of just how big the consequences are, I guess, if you don't necessarily do things right. But yeah, hopefully when you watch this season, if you're a fan, Vicky, you see that things won't necessarily go the same way as they did last year.
Thanks for calling, Vicky. Kevin?
Oh, yes, Dennis, Sam, I was watching the show last night.
Good, mate.
I'm now 51 years of age.
Okay.
I quite understand how you feel. When I was 34, 19 women wanted to date me at once.
Have you been close to getting married?
Sort of. I mean, I've been in love before. I was all through my 20s, I was in long-term relationships, and when that last one ended, I bought a house with a girl, and it was a very serious relationship, and then we ended up splitting up when I was 30, and I think part of the reason I've been single for the last 4 and a bit years is just to, put the brakes on a little bit and get to know myself a little bit better before I rush in and make the same mistakes again. So, that's the closest I've been, I guess, to being married. We weren't engaged or anything, but, it was a very serious long-term relationship, and now that I'm 35, I'm definitely ready.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
I know there's a lot of interest about. Did you go into it? I won't ask what the outcome is because obviously you can't tell me that.
Sure.
But you went in sort of hoping that you might meet someone. As the series, how can I frame this without you giving something away? Has it lived up to your expectation?
Yeah, well put. It definitely has. It definitely has. There was a bit of scepticism there and a lot of hope early, and the scepticism quickly disappeared. And the further it progressed, the more likely I saw it to really deliver what I was ultimately hoping for.